Hi guys, welcome back to Gay Watch. Bringing you the latest updates from the Inner Hebrides of Scotland. So, it's been quite a night. There's been a big storm here. Wind has been going wild. So yeah, basically I've been putting up with like the tent just going insane, sort of flapping about, and the whole of the front of the tent being like pushed in for the entire night. So I will put a little insert of last night now. So yes, basically I just wanted to fill you in on my first couple of days here, because I really went for it in the first 48 hours. I was like, this is the most like beautiful landscape, beautiful, picturesque, photographical landscape, and I just want to get into every remote nook and cranny. So the first day I went to the Bunnahabhain, which is the furthest southwesterly point of the island, and it is like a rocky peninsula with a 130-meter drop into the ocean. So you can imagine really dramatic kind of landscapes, and I was up there with my tripod and my lens and teetering along the edge like a little ballerina. But I do have to rein myself in sometimes, because I get a bit too adventurous, and I'm kind of like, Jack, there could be danger here and you need to rein this back a bit. So I did that, and then I saw that there was kind of like a way down to get onto a bit of a lower sort of ebb, and then I did that, made my way down. The cows were all looking at me like, shit girl, what you doing here? And I was just like, I don't know really what I'm doing here. It seemed like a good idea a few months ago. I told everybody about it, and then it was just too late to get out of it. So here I am. So then I realised that I was kind of at the bottom of the cliff face, and the creative part of me was like, great, you know, this is like a little opportunity to explore a little bit. And then the safety part of me was like, Jack, if something falls off that cliff face, like some debris, it is going to fall on your head and kill you, darling. So at that point, I thought, okay, get back up to the top. So by this point, I was very sweaty. Next day comes, and I decide to go one step further. So I go out to the most remote distillery, which is Bunnahabhain. So Bunnahabhain is the most northeasterly part of the island. So you go down a big old road, you go round the bay, out like that side of the island, and then you come onto a little road for like 15-20 minutes, and you get to the arse end of nowhere. So then the car road stops. You can't go any further in a car. So I park up. I've got no hiking stuff, but I basically know that there is a lighthouse at the edge of the island. So I'm kind of like, okay, I can do this. I don't know what everyone's talking about. I don't need a hiking stick. I don't need any kind of hiking gear. I've got my Zara sweatshirt. I'm going to wrap that around the back of my neck so I don't get more sunburn. I am going to strap the camera bag across me. I am going to put the tripod on, link it on there, and set off. And so I can't even tell you guys how naive I was, because it was a 3.5 hour trek one way. This was 8.5 miles. In my mind, I was like, well, I can't see the lighthouse, but it's probably just over that hill. So 2 hours into this, I am in the middle of nowhere. There is just marshland, and like, you can't tell what you're stepping on. You can't tell if you are going to step and it's going to be solid ground, or whether there is going to be a massive drop, or whether you are suddenly going to go into something like really boggy. So anyway, I get about 2.5 hours in. Then there is like a cascading waterfall off a like cliff, with just this sort of, I mean, really, really beautiful, but a little bit surreal, because it's like you are on a cliff face with nobody around. I mean, there is no sheep, there is no cows, there are no people, there is an occasional little like sparrow or butterfly. That is it. There is nothing, no living soul in sight, no reception on my phone. Anyway, so I'm walking, and every time I walk, it's getting more difficult. It's like, this is not just walking on a flat surface. It's like I am having to heave my body through massive ferns. I can't walk in a straight line. I have to go from like zigzag all the way down this landscape, because I can't tell. There's like, you'll get onto a bit of kind of track, and then it's like follow the track, and then suddenly the track ends. You know, it's like, obviously people have sort of set out to do it and maybe got halfway, and then, you know, Bob and Jill have decided, no, this is too much, I'm going back. So anyway, I decide to continue. Then I see the lighthouse. I see the top of the lighthouse poking out from behind hills. At this point, I've been going for quite a long time, and I think, well, either I turn back now or I carry on. I just keep going. And I can tell that even though I can now see the lighthouse, it is still a fair distance off. So I carry on. I keep going. Eventually I get to like somewhere where I can get over some rocks and stuff and get down to the actual sea. But it's not easy, and there is still like a lot of bogginess and shit. Anyway, I step, and my whole foot is now covered in like browny red sludge, just coated. Anyway, so I go down there. I spend like maybe an hour taking a few photos, you know, trying to like pace myself a bit, because I know I know what is coming for me, girl, on that walk back, and I'm not looking forward to it. So anyway, do all that. To be honest with you, I probably could have got equally as good photos like not doing that hike. So then I go back, I leave the lighthouse, I go back to the little bit of beach and think, right, okay, I'm going to have to get upland back onto these like marshes and make my way back. Then I see people and they look at me like, what the fuck is this boy doing here? What is he doing here in a Zara jumper with no hiking equipment? How has he got here? And these people are like upper class, right? They're like, oh, we're going to sail to this remote beach and do a bit of badminton or something on the beach. And then they see me. So there's like 2 young guys and a girl. And the guys don't say anything. And the girl, like, after a little awkward pause, the girl's like, oh, hello, how are you? And I'm like, oh yeah, hi, I'm good. And at this point, I'm kind of like, fuck, I mean, maybe I should ask them for a lift in their boat, because they've obviously got to that beach by boat. They haven't hiked for 4 hours across land like I have. But my own pride and British politeness is like, no, I will do the 3-hour hike. So I'm like, oh, hi, yeah, I'm good. And then I just pop off over the hill and start hiking back. Now, at this point, I am like, how long is it? Where is the line between this is like, I fucked up and was over ambitious, and one false slip and I am on like SOS helicopter fucking rescue on ITV? Because literally I was like, if something happens and I sprain my ankle, I've got no phone reception, there is nobody around me, I am just going to be lying here in the mud dying. So anyway, when I was at the lighthouse, I have like a brief spell of reception. So my family and me are on like a family chat. So I was like, okay, I'll just send a little message, and I won't arouse kind of any suspicion that anything's wrong, but I'll just be like, okay, well, I'll message you in a few hours. Look out for a message in a few hours, just in case I don't message in a few hours and need to be airlifted out of here. Anyway, so I now at this point am just going for it. I'm like, I know I've got to get back to the fucking car before like dark. So I'm heaving my body through all these giant ferns, and I step and I am entirely in a fucking hole. This is literally what this is like. So then I pull myself out of the hole, I carry on, and I'm making noises like I'm giving birth, because I am full on exhausted by this point. Anyway, I finally make it back to the car, but at that point I was like, look, Jack, you can't be doing this sort of thing. You've got to rein it in a little bit. So I've been doing a bit more of a like beachy, flat surface activity. But I did look up this hike on the internet, and there was like this Scottish Highland Walking Committee or something. And they have a little icon of like how difficult that trek is. That was 2 little boot icons out of 4. I'm like, what the fuck is 4? Like Mount Everest? I mean, what are they gauging the scale on here? Because I'm telling you, that was more than a fucking 2. Anyway, guys, so that was my first 48 hours, and I really exerted myself. I will do another little update of the storm last night, because that was a whole story within itself. And yeah, thanks for all the support, thanks for watching the videos, and thanks for commenting, and talk to you all soon. Bye.